Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This kind of has to be good, right? But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be one of my Mushroomhead shirts. Really, really like this shirt. This was basically right before the band Mushroomhead kind of imploded and like half the members left. It's like half the members that are on this no longer in the band. Actually, probably more now because there's been other people left. But I'm a big fan of the band Mushroomhead. I have been ever since like my early high school days. I picked up their album XX, which at the time I didn't realize was basically a best of album, but you know, it's fundamentally what it is, from kind of, you know, their earlier stuff. And I've just been a huge fan ever since, man. Like, I think they're such a cool band. I love, I love the composition of their music. I love that they're always trying new things. I even love, the newer stuff is a little bit more hit or miss for me. But even then, I do enjoy some of the stuff that they've done with that as well. Like, they're always on top of cool things, so... I have actually seen them perform live a number of times. I actually have videos of some of those performances on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're incredible. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? I found this twice. I went over there, I went out to a 7-Eleven like maybe a couple weeks ago, and I found this, and I bought it, and then I don't know where I put it. Like, I genuinely, like, it just fucking up and vanished. And the only thing I can think of is maybe while I was cleaning out my car, maybe it was, like, in a bag or something, and I just, tossed it. But I found it again today. So, what is it? It happens to be, boom! It's Cheetos Puffs, but not just any Cheetos Puffs. These are their cheese pizza flavored. Now, here's the thing. I imagine this is going to taste good, but I also imagine this would taste good because, like, Cheetos are already cheesy. So, I don't know. We're going to find out together where the cheese pizza aspect of things comes into play. But let's get a thing for the thing. And looks like this. We'll got ha 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 ha. Let's give it a go. Nice neon orange flavor, or neon orange color. It smells like extra cheesy Cheetos. Son of a bitch. I see what they did there. It's crafty bastards. So, again, in my head, I was like, alright, how are you going to make this, cheese pizza flavor? Because, again, Cheetos are already really cheesy. What they did was, they didn't increase the cheese flavor. That still seems to be more or less on point with what Cheetos are. Maybe slightly different than the normal ones. But what they did do was add in a slight tomatoey flavor. There is like a slight kind of reddish layer on top of this. When you bite into it, you can kind of see it more distinctly. And my guess is that's like a layer of like maybe powdered tomato or something like that. So again, it's not really changing the cheese flavor too much. But by adding that little extra thing in, it does give it kind of a cheese pizza flavor, because you get a mix of that cheese and that sort of light tomato flavor. I'll be damned. But the question is, do I like it? And the answer is kind of. I wouldn't consider it, like, I'll give them credit for being clever. Like I said, that really surprised me how they implemented that. Um, I'd be lying though if I said that I find these to be as good as normal Cheetos. Though part of that might just be, kind of acclimating myself to them. But I think for me, the thing is with the Cheetos, I just want that overabundance of cheesy flavor. That's what I'm looking for in a Cheeto. With this, there's still the cheesiness, obviously, but obviously some of it has to be sort of supplemented, to make way for some of that kind of, slight tomatoey flavor. So I appreciate these as a snack, but the fact that they've somewhat diminished my beloved Cheetos flavor, yeah. But I do like it, and I think it's, if nothing else, it's interesting. And I've always said when doing these reviews, I prefer to review something I don't like that's interesting versus something that I like but it's just, boring. Excuse me. But in this case, I mean, I like them and they're interesting. So, got a kind of a dual thing there going. But yeah, it's a mix of sort of, slightly tomatoey, with the cheesiness and everything. And yeah, it makes it taste like a really cheap cheese pizza. That's the best way. If you've ever had Tony's Pizza, I've had plenty of Tony's Pizza in my day. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's not a good cheese pizza, but yeah, they managed to somewhat emulate a kind of ish cheese pizza flavor experience in a Cheeto. Credit where it's due. I can kind of get down with that. And yeah, it kind of also reminds me a little bit of a general sort of generic Italian food flavor. All right. Well, 2 questions have to be asked, so would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Yes, but not anytime real soon, and sure. I think for me personally, I do kind of like them, but again, I do think I just prefer normal Cheetos. And some of the other Cheeto flavors that they've done over the years, like jalapeno cheddar, has always been a favorite of mine. The Mexican street corn, really like those. These, I wouldn't put up with my favorites. I appreciate that they were, again, kind of clever with the whole thing, but yeah, I miss the cheesiness. And while I do kind of enjoy the sort of tomatoey kind of, accent that it has going on, it really does just sort of come off like cheap tasting pizza. And yeah, I mean, I eat cheap tasting pizza, but I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer to, eat really nice pizza if I could. So these for me, they're kind of fun and they're good in their way, but I just prefer normal Cheetos. So I would probably get these again maybe a month or so down the line or something like that. But they wouldn't be a regular fixture for me. And if I'm recommending them, sure, man, give them a shot. I think if nothing else, like I said, for me, they're not going to be my favorite brand of Cheetos. Maybe as a kid, they probably would have been. But if you're just over there and you're just somebody who's like, hey, I like Cheetos, boop-a-doop-a-doo, and you want to try them and they seem interesting to you, give them a go. If nothing else, there's nothing bad about them or anything. And I do think, you might be a little bit surprised kind of the way they managed to pull off the flavors on it. So, but anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of the year. Folks, go over there and have themselves a truly proper cheese pizza-tastic rest of your life. Because, folks, I mean, proper cheese pizza, let's be honest. It's a thing of beauty. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. And folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your favorite type of cheese pizza? Do you have a preference or, because I'm a little bit of a pizza slut. I'll eat pretty much any type of pizza. But But at the same time, like, yeah, I obviously prefer the nicer stuff. I think, for me, I'm trying to think of like one that I have like a strong preference for. I mean, like Rosati's, you can't go wrong with Rosati's. I mean, shit, Lou Malnati's is of course really good too. But I for them, I'm more of a deep dish type of person. So, Giordano's, really like Giordano's. Unfortunately, the one by me closed down. So, but let me know what your personal picks are. Anyway,